can I please pick your brains on two things very quickly, briefly, before we let you go? Recently, we're hearing about a proposal to send Abrego Garcia, and not him alone, because he is the big name, but to send so-called immigrants or deportees, right, of the immigration system to Ghana. What's your idea on that? And generally speaking, how strong is the Mahama government on foreign affairs?
I know that they took an initial group of West African immigrants who had been deported. At the last reporting, if I remember correctly, they've been forwarded on to their respective West African countries.
Mm-hmm.
The foreign minister says it's a memorandum of understanding between the Ghanaian government and the U.S. government. I am not privy to all the backdoor conversations that went into reaching that understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that, especially for this government, because of the backlash it faced way back in the lead up to the 2016 election over the Gitmo 2 incident, that when the Supreme Court said these things have to be ratified by Parliament, I hope that whatever negotiations they enter into with the United States, even as they also try to ensure that Ghana's national interests are protected, but also making sure that our mutual interests between these two countries are also served. That one of the things I would say is bring it to Parliament for that ratification. You have 2/3 majority in Parliament. You can easily get it through. I know the foreign minister said it wasn't a quote unquote a treaty. It was more of a memorandum of understanding. I can respect that. But some of these things, you want to make sure that you don't face the same backlash your government faced years ago. So whether it's an MOU or a treaty, just make sure that you bring it to the people's representatives, reconcile it, get it approved, and make sure that in all of your negotiations with the U.S. government, that whilst shared mutual interest prevails, you also ensure that the interest of your nation doesn't become at risk as you pursue these mutual shared interests with the United States government.
Thank you so much, Doc. And then on the local front, finally, before we go, there is a lot of talk about a supposed witch hunting going on with, different people from the NPP being picked up for different reasons and all of that. When we go back, however, we also remember that some very highly placed government officials from the NDC had earlier actually served jail terms. Some of them, maybe one of them at least, had died in jail and all of that. Do you see what's going on in Ghana as a witch hunt or as a quest for justice?
I believe it's a quest for not even just justice, but a quest for accountability. So, yes, I know that over the years, when people are arrested, the term is, in your witch hunting, That, for me, is part of the politics. I can understand that. But I hope that the politics that drives us to describe everything as witch hunting doesn't get us to a place where, because of that, we also avoid holding people accountable if there is a reason and a basis to hold them accountable. For me, these are processes that is saying, look, person A, we are not saying you are guilty. We are just saying that we've received some information that concerns us. We need you to come answer some questions. We will give you your due process. If you answer your questions and everybody and the authorities find out that, okay, we asked, Mr. Kwesi Baako to come and answer questions. He's answered the questions satisfactorily. Whatever suspicions we have about him, that there is really no basis, Mr. Kwesi Baako, you can go home. Great. On the other hand, if you are invited for questioning and there's enough evidence to say that, look, you have questions to answer, we will send you to a court of competent jurisdiction make your case, and let the court decide. I think we have to let those processes work, because accountability is a key part of good governance. And if people have questions to answer, and if people must be held accountable, then that is what we have to do as a country.
Dr. John Osae-Kwapong, thank you so very much. As we bow out, let me connect this back to our original interview. Do you think that John Mahama will gain any points in the Afrobarometer for oral? Because it was a key promise that he made during his election.
And he needs
on that right now.
Yeah,
How do you
because oral is really on the minds of the public. The public are expecting some things to come out from oral based on the very things that the NDC government promised. So I believe that if he's able to deliver on some of the key things, recover, he doesn't even have to recover everything, right? But I think that as his government continues, if he shows constant, recovery of some of these assets, if he shows that people are being held accountable, being sent to court, if people are guilty, and all of those things, I believe, would contribute to improving public perception when we test it again in terms of how well he's fighting corruption. But it's one of those issues that he cannot afford not to succeed on it. People are expecting things to happen as a result of oral.
Doc, thank you so much. Where can we find the book to buy, though, after the launch? It will be on Amazon?
After the launch, it will be available on Amazon. We'll make it available on Amazon.
Great. Please go out, buy that book. Everybody. It's a book worth your read. Everybody. Doc, thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you so much, Senior. Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time and your insights. All right. Dr. John Osae-Kwapong, who, full disclosure, schoolmate of mine. He was my junior in school, by the way. Pescoba, But yes, full disclosure. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Osae-Kwapong, for that enlightening interview.